Today, there are 6 cruise ships in Nassau, and a lot of the cruisers on board are skipping this port and treating today as a sea day. You can understand why. For years, Nassau has had a reputation, and a lot of people have written it off based on an experience that may no longer be fair. But there are genuinely great things here, and something new is happening at this port right now. So let's find out if Nassau has finally turned a corner. Hi fellow cruisers, this is Ken from Ken Travels 360. We're in Nassau, Bahamas today on our Carnival Celebration cruise. And today we are giving this port a proper honest look and answering the question, is it finally worth getting off the ship at Nassau? Let's start at the port itself because it's genuinely better than it used to be. After a $350 million redevelopment, it's now cleaner and better laid out. There are more shops, and in general, it's a much more pleasant place to start your day than it used to be. And that really matters. Now, the moment you step outside the port area, Nassau does what Nassau does. You will get approached. Taxis, tours, hair braids, souvenirs, etc. etc. Everyone wants your attention at once. And honestly, so many cruisers find it so off-putting that they just quickly checked out Bay Street and the Straw Market before returning to the ship. But if that's all you ever see of Nassau, of course it feels underwhelming. The good stuff requires you to go a bit further. There are, of course, some historic attractions that are genuinely worth your time. If it is your first visit to Nassau, I recommend the Queen's Staircase and Fort Fincastle if you haven't checked them out. These attractions tell the story of this island well, and they would not take your whole day. The Queen's Staircase in particular is more impressive in person than photographs suggest. 66 steps, carved by hand, from solid limestone in the late 1700s. And of course, it leads you to Fort Fincastle, which unfortunately is currently closed for renovation. Hopefully, by the time you watch this, it will have reopened. Now, Nassau is just a small part of the New Providence Island, and if you're willing to explore a little further, the island has much more to offer. Around the island, there are some really great beaches. I have 2 recommendations. First, there is Cabbage Beach on Paradise Island. It's probably one of the easiest beach options. It's a long stretch of white sand and clear water, and it is completely free to access once you are there. You just need to pay for a taxi to get across from the cruise port. And right next door to it is Atlantis. They sell day passes at around $200 per person, and you get access to their water park and resort facilities. For some people, that might be worth it, but if that's not your thing, Cabbage Beach gives you that classic Bahamas beach day without spending anything extra once you arrive. And then there's Jaws Beach. Yes, it's named after the film, and yes, they actually filmed some of the scenes here. But beyond the trivia, it is quieter and less commercial than some of the other options. And on a good day, it is one of the better beaches that we have visited anywhere on this island. It's a little further out from the cruise port area, and that alone makes a big difference. Most cruisers don't make it here, so it feels far less developed and far more relaxed. The sand is soft, the water is clear, and on a calm day, it can feel almost untouched in parts. No big resorts, no major facilities, just a simple stretch of coastline and a much quieter atmosphere. Now, if you're happy to go on an excursion, then I have a recommendation. It's Stewart Cove's Snorkeling, and they run trips every day, 7 days a week. You go out to the reefs, you swim through corals and tropical fish, and then, if the weather is right, and if you have the nerve, they take you to snorkel with sharks. There's no cage, you're in open water, and reef sharks are moving through the water right below you. Some of you just tense up at that. So let me be clear, the sharks are calm, the guys know exactly what they're doing, and this is not a reckless experience, but it is a real one. When you get in the water and you see them moving beneath you for the first time, well, it's just impossible to describe the feeling. The trip cost around $119 per adult. Compare that to the $200 Atlantis Day Pass, and you are getting one of the most memorable experiences available from any Caribbean port for significantly less money. They include transfers from the port, so getting there is straightforward. Link is in the description below. And if none of that appeals, and if you just want something simple, close to the ship, and completely free, then Nassau has that covered too. Joondalup Beach is right here, a short walk from the port. No taxi, no booking, no cost. Just a genuinely pleasant stretch of sand and clear water. And this is actually where we are right now, because Joondalup Beach is where we finally get the drone up. And from up here, Nassau looks a little different to the port it has a reputation for being. Look at this, 6 cruise ships in Nassau today, thousands and thousands of cruisers all in this port at the same time. Over here we have Norwegian Joy, one of Norwegian's larger ships, and she's looking pretty impressive from up here. Carnival Sunrise is in today as well, and right next to it is Carnival Celebration. That's our cruise ship for this 7-night sailing. Then you've got Disney Wish. We actually saw her coming in earlier, parking up right next to us like a glamorous neighbor. She's a beautiful looking ship, elegant and distinctive in a way that stands out even alongside 5 other cruise ships. She even announced her arrival at the port by serenading everyone with "When You Wish Upon a Star" from Pinocchio. And next to her, Celebrity Constellation. This is a more classic ship with elegant lines, and she always looks great from the air. And then there is this, Utopia of the Seas. This is my first time seeing her in person, and even from the air, the scale of that ship just stops you in your tracks. She is enormous. She is one of the biggest cruise ships ever built, and is right here in Nassau today. And now look over here. This is the new Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, Royal Caribbean's new beach destination, right here in Nassau. And you can already see the tender boats running from Utopia of the Seas across to it. We are on Carnival Celebration today, so we did not get to visit it ourselves. But if you are on a Royal Caribbean cruise stopping in Nassau, this is absolutely worth looking into. If you've been enjoying this video, please boop the like button. And don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the bell. I've got a lot more cruising and travel content coming up. So, is Nassau finally worth getting off the ship in 2026? Yes, but you have to go further than most cruisers do. The people who have a disappointing time here, they are not wrong about their experience. They genuinely had a flat day. But most of them stopped too early. Nassau does not put its best things in front of you straight away. You have to get in a taxi, commit to the day, and go and find them. Nassau was never the disaster its reputation suggested. It just required a bit more effort than some other ports. In 2026, that effort is getting smaller. The reward was always there. You just have to get off the ship. Well, I hope you found this video useful. If you are interested to learn more about the beaches I mentioned earlier, or that snorkeling with sharks excursion, watch one of the videos popping up right now. I'll see you over there in a few seconds. Happy cruising!